everybody, and welcome to my channel. I am Michelle, the founder of the Equip Woman, where I equip women to live purpose, productive, and prosperous. And it's been a long time since I've uploaded any videos to this channel. And one thing is for sure, when the Lord gives you a vision, that is not something that you can run away from. Even with all of the things that are going on in your life, you always return to that very thing that He has told you to do. So today is just going to be a conversation, and for those of you that are new to the channel, welcome. I'm going to give you a little bit of background about the vision that the Lord gave to me about the Equip Women community and how you can stay connected and become a part of this journey and this wonderful vision that God has given to me. So the three pillars of the Equip Woman are living purposed, productive, and prosperous. So I'm going to talk about those for a little bit and then invite you to join our community so that you can be a part of everything that's going to be coming up with the Equip Woman community. So living purpose, God has given us a specific purpose for our lives. And a lot of times we are unsure about what that purpose is, or we may not be unsure. We're just not certain on how to cultivate that. And being a part of this community, you will definitely be able to tap into those areas in your life where you are really being drawn to establish the purpose, because we can't just sit around and allow our things to be dormant. God has given us specific assignments, and it's so important that every day we wake up with that purpose in mind, because those gifts that we have on the inside of us are for us to help others. And if we are not living fully in what He has called us to do, there are people out there that are attached to you that are not receiving what you have on the inside of you to help them move forward in what they need to do in their life. So it's so important that as an equipped woman, that we live purpose. Every day we need to be intentional about doing the things that God has called us to do. And I know many times, and I can speak for myself, that we get in all these other involvements in our lives, and sometimes we stray away from that very thing that God has called us to do. I myself have been guilty of that, and one of those things is being inconsistent with ensuring that I'm delivering and showing up consistently like I should. And a lot of times those things are come against us because the enemy definitely doesn't want us to get in our purpose and walk in our purpose, because he knows that the more that we get on our side, the more trouble that he's in. So this is ever so important. So if you're experiencing any of those difficulties in your life, then you know that you have to lean and depend on all that God has purposed you to do. It's so, so important. And then the next pillar is productive. Being productive. I know we all have those times where we are busy doing things that we think that we should do, but that doesn't equate to living a life that is productive, because many of the things that we're doing that are keeping us busy may not be in alignment with what God has called us to do. So it's time now to evaluate those areas of our lives where we're just busy, and we have to understand that sometimes we have to say no. Sometimes those things are going to take us away from what we know we need to accomplish for that specific day. It's okay to say no. No is a complete sentence. And sometimes we get involved with things and we do things that keep us busy, but we're still unproductive, because a productive day looks like the equipped woman walking in her purpose, doing things that are aligned to her purpose so that she can create multiplicity. Because one of the things that's so important is that as a leader of your home, if you're a leader on your job, or you have leadership roles in your family or in any type of organization that you may be a part of, one of the things that's so important as a leader is that you're multiplying others. Sometimes we get into situations where we attach ourselves to things that we should not be attached to, and it takes us on a detour. Now, sometimes, we think that we should be aligned to those things because we think those things are giving us purpose. But it's always important to make sure that we are gaining the wisdom and guidance that we know are going to lead us toward what God has called us to do. So when we think about being an equipped woman, we are purposeful about what we do. We're very careful about the connections we make. We're very intentional with ensuring our time is used wisely, because the last thing we want to do is be in a position where we're constantly waking up every single day, being busy, and then the things that we know that we should accomplish keep getting put on the back burner and the back burner. And I know sometimes we do get involved in things and we then realize that maybe this is not something that I should be attached to. But just if you keep yourself aligned with what the Holy Spirit is leading and guiding you to, you will start to get revelation of things that you need to remove from your life. So many times we stay in jobs too long, we stay in relationships too long, we stay in partnerships too long. And it's one of those things that we wake up one morning and realize, oh my gosh, like I've wasted so much time in this place. And I know God has been pulling and tugging at my heart to move on, but I'm still here. But once that revelation is given to you, it's immediately time for you to take action. So in that place of productivity, you'll know that there's always forward moving. And another part of that is that when you are constantly saying yes to everything, you continue to pour out and pour out and pour out, and then you're left with nothing. So I always say you can't pour from an empty cup. So you want to be sure that those that you are surrounding yourselves with, those support systems that you have, are replenishing your cup. Because as leaders, as those who are involved in ministries and those that are involved in having responsibilities, if we don't have time to replenish our cup, we are going to be giving from a place of nothingness, right? So we've detached ourselves from those things that are going to replenish us. We have to be able to connect with the Lord first, make sure that we're walking in wisdom, and make sure that the things that we're connecting ourselves to are going to be replenishing us and not depleting those things or sending us on a trajectory that's not aligned with our purpose in our life. And lastly, prosperity. I know everyone always side eyes prosperity, and they always think that it's some type of scam or people are trying to get, talk about money. Well, money is important, but, the word specifically said the love of money is the root of all evil. So in order for us to be effective in what God has purposed us to do, we have to have resources. We need these things to be able to live the life that God has designed us to live. But when we're talking about an equipped woman being prosperous, we're not just talking about from a monetary standpoint. We're talking about wealth in our mind, in our body, in our spirit, and also in our bank account as well, because all of those things work together. And the number one thing is making sure that our mindset is in the right place so that we can receive the things that God has for us from the proper place, so that we're not walking around and being boastful or having pride or anything like that. Because if we're renewing our mind with the Word of God, we have a proper mindset that will allow our heart to make the right decisions, allow us to begin to remain connected to those who we need to be connected to. So it's equally important to understand that prosperity starts with the proper mindset and getting the wisdom that we need to make sure that when we do get those resources, we're stewarding them properly. Also, from a physical standpoint, we know that our body is a temple and we have to take care of it. This is the only place that we're going to get to be able to we're only going to get this body here on earth one time. So we have to take care of it. And if we're not healthy and we're not taking care of ourselves and we're not able to get up and have strength to do the things that God calls us to do, then we're not being at that fully equipped woman that He wants us to be. So we have to make sure that we're eating properly, we're moving, exercising consistently. I know sometimes life happens and this may not be something that you can do on a day-to-day basis sometimes, but make it a priority. Be intentional. practice that self-care. I know we hear that sometimes it becomes so cliche. Oh, self-care, I'm in my soft era and all those things that we hear. But just like you would plan yourself to go get your nails done and your hair done as a part of your self-care, plan your meals. Plan to make sure that you put time, incorporate that time in your calendar to get up and move your body. So make that a intentional effort to be the first thing that you do. If that means waking up an hour earlier before anybody else in your family wakes up, or waking up an hour earlier before you know you have to leave to go to work, or whatever your activities are for that day, make an appointment, set that alarm clock, get up, and be able to take that time for self-care. And if you're not a morning person, maybe some people may not be a morning person. They may not want to get up early, so they may need to move that into the end of the day. So whatever is going to work for you, you don't want to put yourself under any undue stress, because we're not to put ourselves in any worry or frustration. But it's very important to understand that prosperity is about health, wealth, and our mental, our spiritual, our physical body. So we want to be sure that we are fulfilling those things so that we can walk fully in all God has purposed us to do. So this is just a brief video that I wanted to do today to kind of bring you back. And I know it's been a long time. Like I said, I am planning some very exciting things and being consistent and just hitting record. Sometimes it just may be